Hello, and welcome to On Mute Now Podcast Season 3. We are four ladies on a mission to raise the volume on the conversations that matter. To those of you joining us on the live stream, thank you. You can join in on the banter and lively discussions across our social media and other podcast platforms. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hello there, and welcome to Unmute Now. Here's our tagline.
Unmute Now, raising the volume on the whispered conversations in our communities. Unmute Now.
Thanks to Martin for sending that in, and thank you, James, for playing that for us. I am your main host for today's holiday special, where we are thinking about gift giving. With me are Yalan, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Natasha.
Hiya.
And Angela.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so some of you already know that I have a gift that I have received from a special admirer. You see my gift? I wonder if anybody can guess what's inside this gift. I'm about to open it, and then we're going to get going with our conversation. So if you think you can guess, you have until I finish ripping the wrapping paper off to type your guess into the box, into the chat. Here we go.
Whilst Raquel is opening her gift, I am hoping that my usual critics would realize that the Grinch is wearing reindeer antlers, and I'm not the only one looking and sounding Grinchy. Come on, Natasha and Angela, where's the Christmas spirit?
The Grinch is changing her color.
I have my Santa hat, but I forgot it downstairs.
Okay, I don't see any guesses in the chat. So it's over to you. Oh, reindeer horns. Oh, right. Falata is saying the reindeer horns. Right, but ladies, over to you to guess. This is my present. This is my gift. What do you think is inside, Angela?
Yankee candles.
And Yolanda?
It depends on if the admirer is a male or female. I don't know, but I'm assuming.
Size of it. Let that be a clue.
Shoes.
Yolanda? No. Have a guess. What's a random one?
Scarf.
She doesn't know. She's not guessing. She's being Grinch on us. She's not guessing. Well, I am sure none of you would have even possibly have guessed that this is what was in my packet. This is the gift.
What's that? Turkey.
I can't see.
Really?
Chicken wings?
It's chicken. A large whole chicken.
Chicken!
Somebody sent you a large whole chicken from Tesco.
Well, that's my secret admirer for you. But that leads me straight into my first question, which is, what is the most random gift you have ever received? I want to hear from the audience as well. But I'm going to start off with Natasha. What's the most random gift you've ever received?
Well, maybe I should say, fortunately, I haven't received very many random gifts, but one that I can remember was, I think I was in second form, so you're like 12 years old, maybe going on 13, and we had one of those classroom gift exchange. I think we used to call them Secret Santas, where people got people's names, and maybe that's what's traumatized me. I never liked those things. I don't like the office Santas. I don't like any of those things, but we were given, I think, a limit of $25 EC, which is maybe, I don't know, $15 US to get a gift. And I bought this lovely gift for whoever name that I got. And then when I opened my gift, it was a stuffed elephant. I mean, you're in high school. Who is giving you a stuffed toy? A stuffed elephant. And it looks like one of those that, were sitting somewhere in somebody's bed or something. You could tell it wasn't new. It was dusty. I mean,
Oh,
I was just like, if that was what the girl could afford, then, that's great. But I felt really bummed out because I spent my allowance to buy a gift for someone and I ended up getting a second or third hand stuffed elephant in high school. So ever since then, I don't like Secret Santas.
Oh, goodness.
I'm laughing at the chat. Somebody said, "Oh my days, a vibrator that traumatized me." And
Oh
so
oh,
dear,
wow.
No way.
that is polite.
that's very random.
Wow.
Somebody has got elf shoes and an outfit. Nikki, I think that was a great gift for you, love. Elf shoes.
But what about you, Yolande? What's the most random gift you've ever received?
I actually haven't received random gifts because I'm always very explicit. Listen, I'm hardcore. I tell you straight up, money, 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 friend. Money, money. Or if you're going to buy me a gift, I will pick out the gift myself. So I'm like Natasha, I don't do them office things for fear of what I might receive. And again, for me, it's the reverse of fear of what I might give somebody and they might not like it.
Like it.
Because I really, really feel like I want to give somebody, I know it's not about the price, but I really enjoy giving expensive gifts. I really want to make people feel valued. Again, it's not about the price, but I don't do them random gift exchange things. So sorry, Raquel. Not a randomer.
Angela, your most random gift.
So this is actually a gift that was given to my husband, right? But it was random, but it was the most useful thing ever. So he went for a speaking engagement somewhere, and it was out of the country. And so when he finished, one of the things that they gave him was a huge pot, like a big sort of stock pot. And he's like, what am I going to do with this? First, I'm going to carry this on the plane. And, so he was at one point thinking, what am I going to do with this? Anyway, he ended up bringing it home. He initially thought, maybe I'm going to ditch this because how am I going to bring it along? And he brought it home and he comes through the door with this huge pot. And he was like, look what I was given. I'm like, that's exactly what I need. That's the perfect size for my big jollof rice when I'm cooking for Christmas and things like that. And he was like, oh, okay, Lord, I repent. Because I was like, and that pot takes pride of place in my home till now.
His random gift was your gift.
It was perfect for me.
Brilliant. Well, I think you could say that a large whole chicken is probably the most random gift I could possibly receive.
But very useful and thoughtful.
Very, very useful. Absolutely. Okay, James, I'm going to ask you to play our first little video. It's only very short, but let's have a go. Have a little look at this.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
Thanks for that, James. So we saw there just a range of gifts parceled up, packaged up, ready to go. And my question is, obviously, with that many gifts packaged and ready to go, there are bound to be gifts that are unsuitable. And I want to ask a question. What do you do with unsuitable gifts? I'm going to start with Roland this time. What do you do with unsuitable?
I'm distracted with the chat tonight, and I'm saying hi to some special people. Hi, Nandi. Hi,
Nandy.
Michelle, and hi,
Join us
Nikki.
tonight.
I can't believe Nikki gifted a classmate an ashtray. Now, come on, love. Seriously. She has a defense in the chat. She thought it was art couture. How do you pronounce the French word? It's a French word, so forgive me if it's pronounced wrong. So, unsuitable gifts, Raquel, I tell you the truth, most people dump them in charity shops. And it is sad. Well, sad and good in the sense that you don't want it, but somebody else might be able to make use of it. But what exactly is an unsuitable gift? Because what somebody else's garbage is another man's treasure, obviously. So for me, if I have an unsuitable gift, and I still kind of think it's nice. I might run it by a friend or two first before I dumped it in a charity shop. So, Cheryl, you're with me. Cheryl
Yeah.
says, regift to them. So, if
Yeah.
my friend says, nah, girl, no chance, I don't want that, then it probably will end up in the charity shop. But the one thing I will not do, that I know that there are some people who do this, I will not sell it on any of them sites online. I just feel that is wrong. I feel it's wrong that somebody gifted me something and I'm trying to make a few bucks out of it, a few dollars or pounds or whatever. I would not do that. So there you
Okay.
go.
Okay. I'm going to turn the question to Natasha now.
I do the same thing. I regift. If it's not something I could use, if it doesn't suit my personality, it has nothing to do with any of my hobbies, I regift it. I regift it to someone who I think it might suit. I've never thought of giving it to a charity shop, but that's a good idea. I could probably do that. If I can't find anyone to regift it, it normally just ends up sitting there, and then years later I'll be like, "What's this? Who gave me this?" You know, that kind of way. But I think I like the charity shop idea. I'll probably put it to a charity shop if I can't find anyone that it could suit.
Funny enough, Natasha, years later, it might actually become a suitable gift.
That's
Very
it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
good. And Angela.
Yeah, I also, re-gift it. And so first of all, I look in my household. Say somebody gives me something that doesn't, say something, an item of clothing that doesn't quite fit me. I'll see, does anybody in my household, can it fit them or whatever, something like that. If not, then I'll try and find somebody that I think it would actually suit and give that away. Again, I would never sell it on as well. No, I wouldn't do that. And like Natasha said, if it doesn't quite go anywhere, because I don't like to just give people something just to give away. I want to give it to somebody that I think actually it's going to be useful for. So if I can't quite find anyone to give that to that's going to be useful, I'll probably leave it in the house. And at some point down the line, it does become useful, But if it's something that's really expensive, if I know it's something that looks like it's really expensive, and I know either it's because the size is not quite right, or the whatever it is, then I would actually say to the person that gave it, thank you very much, but do you think maybe, and see whether they can swap it, because just yeah. So it depends on what
Gift
it is.
receipts, people. Gift
Yeah,
receipts.
yeah.
Now, I happen to know some people who will not use their gift receipts, even if they get the gift, it's unsuitable, and they get it with gift receipts, they won't change it. They just won't.
So what will
So
they just keep
they
it?
will
Not
they
use
will
it?
either give it to somebody, not re-gift it in the sense of giving it as a gift to somebody, but just give it to somebody to say, do you know anybody who could use that? So
Okay.
there is that
Well,
as well.
I want to say, may God forgive Reverend Nikki for dumping gifts that people give her. May the Lord forgive her.
And while I'm here, just going to say hi to Nandi and hi to all the other people who are saying hi in the chat.
Hey,
So great to
Nancy.
be here.
Hi,
Cheryl and
Cheryl.
others.
Cheryl
Yes,
also
Palata,
gives them.
hello.
yes. Great to see you all.
Michelle.
Cheryl, you agree, re-gift them. Yeah, absolutely. We can re-gift them. We can take them to charity shops. We can give them to somebody who will find a use for it. Or we could give it to probably even places like food banks and, organizations that are giving things away to other people. That's another idea for them. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to take you on now to the next question. And James has got another very short video for you to look at, and then we'll talk some more. Okay, so that was a little video that showed a box full of gifts, and on it a note that says, "Dear carers, Merry Christmas. Thank you for looking after Mom. Please take a gift." And my question to you is, do you feel the need to give everybody a gift, including the postman and the bin man, etc.? I'm going to start off with
I'll go first.
Angela first. Angela.
I was
No, no, no.
volunteering to
Let Yolande go first. She's raring to
Oh,
go.
sorry. Okay, go.
listen. I'm excited tonight. I'm doing my own thing, and I've been trying to distract you all by making sure my antler shows all the light.
Oh, and her antlers are lighting up for those who are listening.
Wow.
And Cheryl loves it. But anyway, to answer your question, Raquel, you see when the note says "Dear Kara," immediately touched a soft spot because it brings me back to last week's, was it last week or the weeks before, conversation about aging gracefully and my very determined position that I would end up and want to end up in a care home. So I would really be loving it if my children be coming in at least to give my wonderful carers a gift. That would really make my day. However, for me as an individual, the postman, the bin man, and all them people, here's what I did last year Christmas to the bin man and the guys that were installing something in my street. I offered them something traditional. I give the man some ginger beer. Now, I don't know if any of you who are, amongst the listening audience know what ginger beer. It's a homemade kind of Christmas drink. Ginger, of course. And
Non-alcoholic.
the big man tasted my good ginger beer and spat it out. He didn't even try. She said, "What is that?"
It's too
I
Oh,
think
spicy.
he was looking
Too
forward for a bit
spicy.
of something
it's
stronger,
too
like a
hot.
bit of alcohol, which I didn't have. So for me, I ain't giving no gift to everybody. I give them what I have in my
That,
house.
that's a cultural issue because you hear ginger beer and you think it's
Yeah,
alcoholic,
yeah,
but ginger beer is not. It's like ginger
No.
ale, but it's very
Yes,
spicy.
yes,
yeah.
And it's
yes,
actually made from raw ginger, blended and prepared, pureed and prepared in your house. So for
Yeah.
me, if you pass by, bin man, postman, the gift you're getting is whatever is in my house, and it's usually going to be food. So I'm very sorry. No.
okay. Angela, slightly different question. Do you feel the
Okay.
need to be reciprocal and give to everyone who gives to you?
No, no. I think I find that sometimes people give you that's kind of is unexpected. So what do I then do? Start scurrying around trying to find? No, I don't do that. But I think I try and remember for the next time because obviously that person has shown you that you're on their mind, and it's not really that they weren't on my mind, but I don't feel the need to give to every single person at Christmas time. There are other times in the year to give. So because I don't give at Christmas to a particular person doesn't necessarily mean that, they weren't on my mind or in my thoughts. So for that same reason, I again don't feel pressured to be reciprocal about gifts.
Okay, and this question falls to Natasha. What could people do who can't afford to be as generous during this season? What could people do if they can't afford to be as generous? So
You
for
give.
instance, they, somebody ends up giving them something and they can't afford to be as generous. What do they do?
Well, that comes right down to what. Why are you giving? Are you giving to receive? Are you giving because you're expected? It's expected of you to give, or are you just giving from your heart? If you're giving from your heart, you give what you can afford, and if you can't afford in terms of financial cost of something, you give of your time. If you're a person who likes to cook, you make them something nice. You spend time with them. All gifts don't have to be expensive, big shows of appreciation. You could do something nice and simple. A card, a voucher for Tesco or something, whatever it is that you can afford. But maybe something homemade, crafty, whether it's
Exactly.
food or a nice homemade gift, you know, just give
Or
of
a
that.
meal, or even a nice dish, something like that as
Yep.
well. Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant.
And sometimes, to be fair, even I've said it, I've braved the waters and given people food, but I'm always still reserved that obviously with cultural differences, people don't always appreciate, the food that you might have to offer. I'll tell you the truth for me, and I know that this might be flipped on its head a little bit for me. I very often, when it comes to Christmas time, get really depressed and sad. But when it comes to in the home circle, I have found myself over the years, for example, it's on different levels. I don't buy my husband anything, maybe it's sad, because I sometimes feel like, I'm giving the gift of intimacy and time to me. I don't buy friends and family anything. I think I give them a phone call, which is quite sad perhaps because they're all many distance miles, 100 miles away. So, and Natasha gives me a Christmas cake. She's gonna be my second year. So I try to be nice to her. I give niceness. What is wrong with that? There's
So that's why
nothing
you're
wrong
being
with
nice to
that.
me for Christmas, Kate.
The gift of niceness. Coming from the Grinch, that's a big gift.
Very good. Very good. Now, I
That's
have
funny.
to say, that in a way, I don't believe that I need to be reciprocal, but, and I don't feel as if I have to give to everybody, including the postman and the binman. But in another way, I feel as though everybody's somebody and everybody ought to know that you value them. And so I find myself at times wishing that, like, I'll tell you what happened this morning. This morning, I thought, right, I'm going to make sure I clear all the bins and get them to the bin before, to the outside bin before the bidmen come, since tomorrow, Christmas is around the corner. So I took the last bin bag and took it down the lane, and the bin lorry was just coming by, and they saw me dumping the rubbish in the bin. And then I felt really weak because they saw me and I didn't have a gift to give them. And I was like, oh, I should have brought something to give to the bin men. And when I came back home, I was talking about it with everybody else. And they said, well, we don't normally even see them. It's just the one time that you happen to be down there that you see them. They don't even know who you are. You don't know who they are. So, yeah, I'm
I tell
torn.
you,
I'm a bit
I tell you
torn.
something though, Raquel. I don't know if it's the same in Jamaica, but like in Antigua, it's a thing at Christmas time to give service people gifts. We
Yeah.
do give our bin men, we give our post
Postman.
person, but it's a
Yeah.
woman or man, yeah, woman
Uh,
or man. We give them gifts. So they normally would get like ginger beer, as Yolande said, or sorrel, which are traditional Christmas meals, or a
piece of
piece of
Christmas cake.
pardon?
A
Yes, or a
piece of
piece of
Christmas
Christmas
cake.
cake, or we give them a little tipple, give them a bottle of something to have with their friends and stuff like that. So that's a cultural thing that we do as well back home.
Yeah, it certainly is.
I'm
It
just
certainly.
looking at some of the comments in the chat. People are saying, good chat to a neighbor or friend means a lot in terms of, if you
Yes,
can't give a gift. Somebody said a kind word in a card means a lot. And,
yes,
those are the kind of things that I'm sure are priceless to many people,
yes.
perhaps. People that are lonely, live
Living
alone
alone,
for
no
Christmas, people
kids.
that may have lost loved ones and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. I suppose those kinds of well, gifts, we call them, but
Yes,
quality time and input into people's lives, I suppose, is more important than anything else. You know, I guess so.
Yes.
yes,
And thank you to Ingrid and all and Cheryl and all the other people who commented like that. Somebody commented this morning in our family chat and said, I give you the unwrapped gifts of, and I thought, yes, that's it. The unwrapped gifts sometimes are the ones we take for granted, but sometimes are the most important. But that kind of leads me neatly into the next bit that I want to bring up very quickly. And is to say, how do you feel about when somebody buys you a gift of giving to a charity? And I'm going to start off with Natasha for that one. How do you feel if somebody buys you a gift of giving to a charity? So they give you a card that says, I have paid for a toilet in wherever on your behalf.
I'll be very happy with that because in my household we contribute to the Deaf Society and Red Cross and things like that every year. So I'll be happy. Or if someone sponsored an animal, an endangered animal or something, those are things that mean things to me. Anything about the environment or elderly people or children or animals, I'm all for it. So if someone wants to do that, I'll be very grateful for that.
Very good. And Angela?
Yeah, I love that. In on my previous workplace, when I left, they donated money towards a community project that they knew that I was starting off. So that was their gift to me. They all donated money together, and they said, "We know you're going, your heart is here, so here's some money towards that project." And I absolutely love that because it is so thoughtful. They know what's dear to you, and done that. So I love that.
And Yolanda, I know this one is right up your street where Cheryl is saying No, where Cheryl is saying that maybe we should give gifts at different times of the year instead of when people might expect it. So yeah.
Well, Cheryl, exactly right up my street, Cheryl. You don't want to get me started on the reason why I don't like Christmas. It's for that reason. Well, kind of like leading towards that is I just feel like people need to be real all year round rather than just spring it on you on Christmas only. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely with you on that, Cheryl.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Raquel, I'm gonna be honest, unless the gifting of a gift to a charity is personal to me, as in Angela's example. Anybody want to give Pivot some money? Maybe give Pivot half and give me the rest. I don't know. I don't because honestly, I'm not trying to be. Listen, I'm keeping it 100% real right now. You're gonna give me a gift. Hello, the gift is mine. I'm very sorry. The charity has to be probably near and dear to my heart. And there are probably very few people who might know what's near and dear to my heart. And even when you think it's near and dear to my heart, listen, split it in half, 50-50, friends. I I want my share. I'm very sorry.
Well, my response is I think I'm very easily pleased where gifts are concerned because for me, the fact that somebody thought about buying me a gift, I appreciate that. So whatever it is, I appreciate it. But I mean, if they want to give me a packet of cashew nuts, I love them because I love cashew nuts. But yeah, so yeah, a charity gift, that's fine for me. Any kind of gift, I just appreciate that. So
And I'm
we
really feeling badly now because Raquel always gives me flowers. Natasha gives me Christmas cake, and Angela gave us some beautiful um bespoke kind of, what do you call them, Angela?
Prints, word art sort of prints.
Word
Yeah.
art for this Christmas. And for those of you who don't know, Angela has started her word art business, and they're really very much, inclined
Messenger
towards.
art.
And she's gifted one to each of us this year, which was beautiful. It's sitting on my
Well, now I
table
know
at
what's in my
home.
gift. I haven't
And
opened
you
it, but
have
now
it
I
too,
know.
Natasha. I have it.
Oh well, oh
So
well.
I'm really feeling badly now. I have to step up my game because I haven't given them anything. Mm.
You've
Nikki,
given us the gift of gab.
Nice.
Nikki's saying a friend only wanted that kind of gift to a charity in their name. And if that's what they want and they tell you that expressly, go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say, as we're coming to an end, that Unmute Now received a very, very special gift this week. We received the gift of a poem from an audience member who would like to remain nameless. So we're going to wrap up our conversation with the poem, and I'm going to ask James to play it.
If I could give you a gift, it would be a smile to warm your soul, a hug to wrap your heart in love, a rainbow to fill your life with colour, a keg of kindness to share with others, a currency of caring to connect us all, and most of all, the joy of giving. Anonymous.
The joy.
Oh,
Isn't that
Thank
lovely?
you, Anonymous. It was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely beautiful. So all that's left is for me to say that next week we will not be with you. We're taking a break for the New Year's. And we look forward. We're hoping that you will join us again in the new year when we're back. Natasha, what's the date? The 7th?
the
Yes, but
7th,
also
yes.
remember that
And
we're
with
having the poetry event with International
Right?
Pageant Stage. Yes,
Yes.
on the 28th.
Yes.
Yes.
Of
So
December.
yes, 20th of December, we're having an international pageant stage poetry event with poets from Northern Ireland, New Zealand, and around the
Australia.
world, hence international.
Yeah.
So watch our social media pages for that. It should be 8 o'clock on the 20th of December. So, yes, over to you, Raquel.
So that's where you'll catch us next. And then obviously next week, Friday, we will not have our regular podcast, but you will have joined us, we hope, on the 28th for the poetry event. And then we'll catch you again in the new year.
Yes.
All that's left for us to say now is goodbye and
Happy
have a
holidays!
Happy holidays,
Holidays! Merry
everyone.
Christmas! Happy
Bless
Hanukkah!
you.
Happy
Enjoy.
Kwanzaa! Happy Festivus! Bye!
and thank you all for being here and for getting engaged in our conversation. Bye, everybody. Until we see you at the poetry event.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to our On Mute Now podcast. If you would like to be in on our conversations live, follow us on our social media platforms during our live broadcasts. We are at On Mute Now 1 on Twitter and at On Mute Now on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and on your favorite podcast platforms. Like, follow, and rate us on Apple Podcasts and leave us a voice message on Anchor. Like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel. If you want to raise the volume on something or contact us, email onmutenow1@gmail.com. Unmute now.